You know that feeling when you're talking to somebody that you really care about, or maybe even it's a stranger, and they're just spouting all this foam at the mouth against Musk and Doge and what they're doing. Oh my God, they're going to access our security, social security number, our bank accounts, even though the guy has literally so much money, he has no idea what to do with it. He's worried about your 1875 in your checking account. And you kind of think to yourself, my God, these people are so nuts. I wish there was something that I could just concretely show them that just proves this is something that we voted for. This is something that is not abnormal. I've got the perfect response. This is the video that you can share with them. I want you to meet the original DOGE Brothers. You're not going to believe this. This is not artificial intelligence. This is not AI. I'm going to play for you some clips that are going to blow your mind. So much so that even Elon Musk posted a response to this. And I'm going to share you what he said. It is unbelievable. It is mind-blowing. But first, they've been yelling, asking for shutting down the city, outrage, fake outrage, pseudo outrage, the hypocrites, the hypocrisy knows no bounds. Listen to what Maxine Waters said just yesterday.
What does Trump expect? Oh, I believe he expects violence. I believe he expects confrontation. I believe he's working toward a civil war.
Working toward a civil war. You Klingon from another planet. I call her Maxine Klingon Waters. You are a walking disaster, a train wreck with a wig. How in the world can you can you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot? Could you imagine if Trump said something like this about Biden or Kamala or Obama? Can you just imagine the backlash? But no, Maxine Klingon Waters gets to incite and foment and disrupt and create all sorts of mass hysteria, inviting violence, saying that Trump's headed towards a civil war. And for what? Because he wants to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. And this is nothing new. This video is going to blow your mind. This is Obama. And you won't believe who he appointed to help him to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. Meet the original DOGE Brothers, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody. Waste we should be getting rid of even if we didn't have a deficit. Sure, some of these cuts aren't that big, but no amount of waste is acceptable. Not when it's your money. Not at a time when so many Americans are already cutting back. Just as families are living within their means, government should too. Did you know the federal government pays for a website devoted to a folk music ensemble made up of forest rangers? They're called the Fiddlin' Foresters. I'll put their music on my iPod, but I'm not paying for their website. And there are hundreds of similar sites that we should consolidate or just get rid of. By the way, you're not only paying for websites no one needs, you're paying for thousands of buildings all across the country no one uses. For the last decade, the government's owned a massive and completely empty warehouse in the middle of Brooklyn, for example. Now, the government hadn't been able to sell this building and others like it because of red tape and Washington politics that held things up for years. But we're finally cutting through all that and plan to get rid of these buildings in the months ahead. We need to step up our game. We need to go after every dime. We need to make government work for you. That's why, starting today, I've asked the Vice President to lead a renewed effort to hunt down misspent tax dollars in every agency and department of this government. We're calling it the Campaign to Cut Waste, and I know Joe's the right man to lead it, because nobody messes with Joe.
There's a new standard by which the government is going to function from this point on. The American people are entitled to transparency. Look, a lot of this depends on new, sophisticated methods, but it also, we know, depends on relentless focus on making this a priority. Focus that can't be delegated. We're holding ourselves accountable, and we're deeply committed and focused on making government function better. We're not just eliminating fraud and waste. We hope to be instilling an entire new culture that not only our administration, but every succeeding administration will in fact pursue. We're going to give you the government you expect and deserve.
Nobody messes with Joe, huh? I mean, first of all, cogent, sober, like coherent Joe Biden is really bizarre, really weird. He even looks, I mean, is it just me? Or that doesn't even look like the Joe. That's like Joe 1.0. Joe 2.0, the guy who falls down off his bike and can't, walk through sand and thinks the president of Mexico is the president of Israel, or Mexico borders Israel, what have you. It's like whoa, complete different human being. Maybe Joe Biden is really like the first AI robot. Maybe Joe Biden, I hate to say this, God forgive me. Maybe he passed away long ago, even before running. I mean, it's like a different human being. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments down below. But can you imagine? You talk about an upgrade. We went from nobody messes with Joe. We went from sleepy, sloppy corpse, vegetable and chief Joe, who, by the way, didn't do anything. Our deficit is an all-time high, 36 point whatever trillion dollars, to Elon Musk, who's already cut over $100 billion of our taxpayer dollars, giving it back to the American people. So much so that they might still do a $5,000 Doge dividend. Holy mackerel. And then I want to share this with you too. Here is Obama back in 2011 signing an executive order. Check this out.
From the day I took office, one of the commitments that I made to the American people was that we would do a better job here in Washington in rooting out wasteful spending. At a time when families have had to cut back, have had to make some tough decisions about getting rid of things that they don't need in order to make the investments that they do. We thought that it was entirely appropriate for our governments and our agencies to try to root out waste, large and small, in a systematic way. Obviously, this is even more important given the deficits that we've inherited and that have grown as a consequence of this recession. This makes these efforts even more imperative. Now, this does mean making some tough choices. It means cutting some programs that I think are worthy, but we may not be able to afford right now. A lot of the action is in Congress and legislative and in the budget. I know that the Joint Committee on trying to reduce our deficits are engaged in a very difficult conversation right now, and we want to encourage them to complete their work. But in the meantime, we don't need to wait for Congress in order to do something about wasteful spending that's out there. Cutting waste, making government more efficient is something that leaders in both parties have worked on, from Senator Tom Coburn, Republican, to Democrat Claire McCaskill. We haven't seen as much action out of Congress as we'd like, and that's why we launched on our own initiative the campaign to cut waste. Not just to cut spending, but to make government work better for the American people. For example, we've identified thousands of government buildings that we don't need. Some of them sat empty 4 years. So we're getting rid of those properties, and that's going to save the American people billions of dollars.
The hypocrisy knows no bounds, my fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens. It is abundantly clear that the Hippocrats, aka the Democrats, don't give a rat's ass about us. All the outrage, all of the vandalism and violence against Tesla, against Elon Musk, death threats. Now you've got swatting happening to conservative content creators, podcasters, live streamers like myself. They're inciting violence. Maxine Klingon Waters, Chuck Schumer, Ayanna Pressley, Jasmine Full of Crockett, AOC, all of them over what? Over the same exact thing that Obama and Biden wanted to do 15, 14 years ago, but never succeeded at because they've never held a real job in their lives. They're lifetime swamp vermin politicians. We finally have some people taking action. We finally have some people actually doing the right thing, helping us to save our hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears, taxpayer dollars. But no, because it's Trump, because it's not their guy, this is how much they hate us, my fellow Americans. Because it's not their guy, They're up in arms. Because it's not their guy, they're going to throw Molotov cocktails at Tesla dealerships, which doesn't have anything to do with Elon Musk, doesn't impact Elon one bit. This guy has so much money, he could literally donate 90% of it and still be richer than you, me, and all of us put together. Okay? What this hurts is the American worker, the guy who puts his kid in bed at night so he can wake up early, open the dealership, and hopefully sell some cars because he's hoping to put his kids through college one day, perhaps, which I don't recommend because college is absolute garbage right now. But you get the point. The hypocrites, the snakes, the serpentine, they don't give a rat's ass about us. They're just, you know what they are? They're not politicians. They're not public servants. They don't give a rat's ass about America. They're fiction writers. That's all they are. But instead of Alice in Wonderland, we get Stephen King. Ooh, they're fiction writers. They're narrative concoctors. They just concoct narratives that fit their own means, fit their own interest, fit their own self-important agendas. Period. Share this video with everybody. Especially, I know you have a neighbor, a friend, a cousin, an aunt, a relative, whatever, a colleague, a coworker, somebody online who's always like, no, Elon Musk is bad. Share this with them. Tap that thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think. I can't wait to read your comments. Sign up for our free newsletter. Also, by the way, our free newsletter is in the pinned comment, in the show notes and description down below. The mission of our channel is to make common sense go viral because we cannot ever let these radical extreme, I mean, even Democrats, even old school Democrats are like, who are you people? You got Bill Maher, Jon Stewart making fun of these. Who are you people? What are you doing? Where does this stuff come from? We can't ever let these DEI cancerous woke ideologies infect our society ever again. So our mission here is to give you the unvarnished truth, what the Hippocratic massive media apparatus, the live stream media won't share with you. So by signing up for our free newsletter, it's kind of like your free insurance policy, so you never miss out. And it's free. And by the way, we don't share your email with anybody. We don't spam. That is not the Nez Nation way. I simply want you to be in the know. That's it. Also, if you want to get one of a kind, made in the USA, this is all made in the USA, original merch. We got hats, hoodies, mugs, backpacks, you name it. A whole bunch of new designs too. That link is also in the pinned comment and in the description down below. Go check it out. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right there to subscribe. It's absolutely free, and follow. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.